Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To grace the valedictory function for the 4th Triennial Congress of FIGA 2025, we have Dr. Shailesh Naik, the former President FIGA, former Secretary, MoES, and Director, National Institute of Advanced Studies, Bangalore, as our chief guest. Dr. Miora Mandia, the Program Manager for the Solid Earth Observation Directorate for Strategy and Programs for Center for National French Space Agency, Paris, as the guest of honor. She will be joining us online. Dr. V.M. Tiwari, President FIGA and the Director CSIR-NEIST, and Dr. Kalachan Sain, Secretary General FIGA, J.C. Bose Fellow at CSIR-NGRI, with us. And I now request Dr. T.M. Balakrishnan Nair, the Congress Director of FIGA and Director INCOIS, to kindly accompany the dignitaries to the dais. Thank you very much, dignitaries. I'm Dr. Elaine.
I'm Vrinda.
We are delighted to be the host for this valedictory session. A very warm welcome to all the distinguished guests and delegates gathered here for the valedictory session for the 4th Triennial Congress of FIGA 2025. As we have come to the end of this intellectually enriching and inspiring journey, it's our pleasure to celebrate the efforts, achievements, and shared learning of the past few days.
To commence this event, due to time constraint, we start with the address by the guest of honor. We are privileged to have Dr. Miora Mandia, Program Manager for the Solid Earth Observation, Director for Strategy Programs, National Center for French Space Agency, Paris. Dr. Mandia currently serves as the Outreach Committee Chair of the European Geosciences Union, where she previously held position as General Secretary and President of the Division of Earth Magnetism and Rock Physics. Now we invite Dr. Mandia to share her thoughts and insights with the gathering.
Okay. I hope you are able to for me. So, dear all, dear delegates, dear guests, dear friends, it is my pleasure and privilege to join you today for this closing ceremony of the 4th Triennial Congress Federation of Indian Geosciences Associations. First of all, I would like to congratulate the organizer and the 4th FIGA and its partnering associations and institutions for bringing together this important gathering under the theme of Geosciences for Blue Economy Protection in the Indian Ocean. We know all that nowadays oceans and the life of ocean is really a very important issue. And there are lots of activities around the world with respect to oceans. And I think India is really an example with respect to this. This Congress served also as a vital platform that united the Indian geoscientific community with international experts to share ideas, to exchange knowledge, to discuss emerging challenges and opportunities in our sciences. If I well understood, you were together something as 250 papers to be presented with distinguished guest speakers, with some planetary lectures. So really, I'm very sorry not to be with you, but of course I was with my heart with you. I think this Congress will play a crucial role in shaping the next phase of research and policy in Earth system science. We have to see and to understand the Earth as a full system. We need to foster collaboration among academic institutions, research organizations, industries, and international associations. Today, we are closing a very important topic you addressed here with 4 thematic areas. First of all, coastal and ocean processes, which are really very complicated and with lots of data and investigations. Coastal and ocean resources, also very important for our future. Natural hazards, and of course, recent advances in geosciences. Of course, I could not join the meeting physically due to the fact that you can see I am in between the flight. I participated to COSPAR workshop in Cyprus, also very important meeting. But I'm a little bit with you virtually, and this is because I'm very much attached to the Indian science, to Indian geosciences, and the community in your country. It was for me a pleasure to work with you in my different duties as IAGA president, for example, but also now as president-elect of IUGG. What can I say also is what I told a little bit before, is to advise all participants, not only women, not only early career scientists, but all of you to engage actively, to accept challenges, and to foster collaboration. We are all on a planet, and we have to collaborate in order to keep this blue planet as blue as possible. I am sure that you all will celebrate this closing ceremony together, and I'm confident that this Congress will inspire innovative ideas and partnerships, and also will benefit both for science and for society. We need geosciences, and we need to be here as geoscientists present for science and for society. And with this, once again, congratulations for this wonderful meeting, and promise I'll try to be with you for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mantia, for your thoughtful and motivating words. Now, we are deeply honored to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Naik, the former Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, the current Director of National Institute of Advanced Studies, Bangalore. He was the Chair of Earth System Science Organization and Secretary to the Government of India for the Ministry of Earth Sciences. He has served as the Chancellor of TERI School of Advanced Studies, Delhi. He is a member of governing body of Indian Space Promotion and Authorization Center, and the Foundation for Ecological Security and the National Center for Sustainable Coastal Zone Management, Chennai. Dr. Naik also chairs the jury for the National Blue Flag Committee and serves on several research advisory committees, including ESSO, National Antarctic and Ocean Research Center, and for NCCR and Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology. Sir, it's an honor to have you with us. We welcome you onto the stage for our chief guest address.
Good evening to everybody. Dr. Virendra Tiwari, President FIGA, Dr. Balchar, Director INCOIS, Dr. Harsh Gupta, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must compliment FIGA and of course INCOIS to very successfully organizing this Congress. And the topic of this Congress is also very apt and timely. I'll tell you why. As you know that as soon as the Earth originated, almost 4.5 billion years, the geoscience came into existence. And we know that 4.5 billion years because of our knowledge in geoscience. The Earth, or a geosphere, where the humans and other biota which they live, and we depend on its water, energy, food, and many other things. Also, the geoscience or the earth science allows us to understand the world in which we are living. And that is why we can also understand the sustainability. Today, I could see earlier from the program that the many sessions which were there, which essentially dealt with how the geosphere is interacting with the ocean or atmosphere or a biota or a snow and ice. And that the changes which are happening, which could be local or a regional or a global, which indirectly or directly tells us that how the earth is behaving or changing and how it is impacting the humanity. Now this, when you look at the blue economy, we must realize that why the word blue economy came. In 2012, it's the World Conference on Environment said that we need to shift from the green economy to the blue economy. And the basic idea of this was that as the climate change and the impacts are more visible, and we understood that it is going to affect our life, we will have to depend on ocean. And this is not new, that whenever the humanity was in crisis, they looked at the ocean. And that story began long back, 165,000 years ago, when the first migration started because of the drought in the Central Africa, and the early humans moved to the ocean, and they got fish and they survived. So similar crisis of the climate change also happening, and that's why we are trying to look at the ocean. And not only here, but globally, if you see, in the 2015, the following 2012 resolution, there are sustainable development goals, and one of the goals is on the ocean, SDG 14, which looks at how to conserve and utilize the marine resources. This was again followed by this particular decade, the decade of oceans, by the UN, and essentially to provide the science for attaining the SDG goal 14. And India also has made a major contribution when we started Indian Ocean Expedition in 2015. And it's continuing. Every 5 years we are extending. And now I learned a few days back that the Scientific Committee on Oceanographic Research has agreed to extend it up to 2030. So I think all this thing which has happened over the globe, and I think we are trying to capture this into this conference, and I'm sure that these all aspects will help us to increase our knowledge about the earth, about how we are observing the earth. We have seen the satellites, the various airborne and different platforms, different techniques, right from the numerical analysis to now AI, ML, and all such things. But at the same time, we also need to realize that everything we are not able to predict. And one topic which I think as a geoscientist we need to look at, that we are now trying to transition from fossil fuel based energy generation to renewable energy, maybe solar, wind, biomass, geothermal, nuclear. How this going to affect the Earth's processes? We are assuming that these are all not going to affect anything. A similar thing happened when we started using the fossil fuel, that nothing is going to happen. Because all this technology also needs metals. There are several other things which also uses energy to produce. So I think we need a kind of a research that how this is also going to affect. And that will help us that if these are likely effect, then we may be able to take care of those things. So that the environmental policy, the governance structures can be designed accordingly. There are many such issues, but I am not going to tell anything more than this. But I think the most important thing which we have is the opportunity provided by the geoscience on doing interdisciplinary work with physics, chemistry, biology, and many others. I think that is what is very important. And in that connection, we must also look at that how geoscience education is going to happen. I think the current system of a geoscience education is not sustainable or to address the issues which geoscientists are going to face. With this, I must thank again FIGA President and Director INCOIS for inviting me here. And I'm sure that in the coming Congress, the other associations and the patrons of the FIGA will continue to address some of these issues which we are all concerned with. So thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful and motivating words. Now I invite Dr. V.M. Tiwari to felicitate our chief guest, Dr. Shailesh Naik. Thank you, sir. Now we move on to the most awaited moment of this event. Now we are going to announce Young Scientist Best Presentation Award and Young Research Best Poster Awards. I request Dr. Shailesh Naik to kindly honor of presenting the prizes. First, we have Young Scientist Best Presentation Award. May I invite Dr. Bijayananda Dalai from CSIR-NGRI to come forward and receive the award. Congratulations to you, sir.
Next, we have the results for the Young Research Best Poster Award. We have three awards. First, I'm announcing the third prize. It is for Katula Bhimaraju, Sanjari Banerjee and Subhash Chandra from CSIR-NGRI Hyderabad. Their poster title is Differentiating Saline Aquifers via Airborne EM and Hydrochemistry, Seawater Intrusion versus Mining Effluents. If any of the participants or colleagues is available, please come forward and collect the award. Okay, so the second prize goes to the Alagar Swami G. Nitya P. from PSG Institute of Advanced Studies, Coimbatore. Their titled poster is Surface Modified Zirconium Oxide Magnetic Nanocomposites Infused Alternate Beads for the recovery of Y and SE from red mud leach in groundwater. And the first prize for the FIGA Best Poster Award for the FIGA 2025 goes to Sudeshna Moharana and Lakshmidhar Behara from CSIR-NGRI, Hyderabad. 3C Wide-Angle Crustal Seismic Imaging of the South Rewa Basin, Central India. That was the title.
Courteous congratulations to all the winners. Now I invite all our distinguished dignitaries on the stage to kindly join together for the release of special volume. First special volume entitled as Sustainable Development. Now the second special volume, Energy and Water from the Ocean. Sorry for the delay. Thank you. Now we move on to a very special and heartfelt segment of this gathering. The felicitation to our past and outgoing presidents and organizers. I would like to invite Dr. Shailesh Nayak to felicitate Dr. V.P. Dimri, founder, president of FIGA. I'm sorry. Now I invite Dr. Kalachan Sen to felicitate Dr. V.M. Tiwari. Now, now I would like to invite Dr. V.M. Tiwari to felicitate Dr. T.M. Balakrishnan, Congress President.
I request Dr. Shailesh Naik, our chief guest, to felicitate our organizers for the FIGA. First, I would call Sri E. Pattabhiram Rao. Please come to the stage, sir. Dr. Sudhi Joseph. Shri S. Nageshwar Rao. Dr. R.S. Mahendra. Shri N. Kiran Kumar. Dr. ASS SRS Prasad. Shri M. Nagaraja Kumar. Dr. TVS Uday Bhaskar. Dr. Anish Lotlikar. Nagraj sir. Dr. Anish Lotlikar. Shri K. Annapurnaya. Dr. Abhishek Chatterjee. Dr. V. Praveen Kumar. Dr. P.G. Ramya. Shri Devendra Kumar. Shri V. Subramaniam.
Sir, yeah. Sir.
Thank you. Now I invite Dr. Kalachand Singh, Secretary General FIGA, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good evening. Professor Padma Shri Shailesh Naik sir, Chief Guest of today's valedictory function, Dr. Miora Mande, Chief Guest of Honor of this valedictory function, Professor Tiwari, Director of this Congress, Balakrishnan Nair, Congress Director, Professor Harsh Gupta is also another Padma Shri awardee, all the esteemed speakers, guests, and delegates. Just before I propose a vote of thanks, I would like to bring before you a small outcome, whatever we have achieved at the 4th Triennial Congress, to mention that FIGA is really growing. The membership has gone up. Now we have 12 members as Patron and 10 associations have joined. So the very purpose of establishing FIGA is getting made by sharing thoughts and views, creating network, and advancing geosciences for societal growth and national development. In this 4th Congress, we have chosen the theme on geosciences for blue economy, potential of Indian oceans, and that has covered several aspects related to ocean and has given us a greater opportunity to harness that, to understand several processes so that we can contribute to the growing economy of our country. Professor Naik sir has given some of the examples. So just to touch upon what are the aspects we have covered, the coastal processes, ocean dynamics, ocean coastal hazards, marine coastal resources, as well as we have also brought out some of the aspects related to MIML, emerging tools that are very, very vital for the exploration and exploitation of resources available into the ocean environment. We have also brought out, as Professor Harsh Gupta suggested in one of the meetings, that what we have achieved during the last 10 years, and FIGA has been older than 10 years, in the compendium, we have covered some of the important aspects related to ocean resources, energy security, AIML for geosciences, geological hazards, impact of climate change, and role of geosciences for the rural and urban development. And this document can be utilized for the policy decision, for reframing some of the strategies by several related ministries. In the plenary sessions, we had heard from the President of IGU, President of IIGG, and that shows that FIGA is fortifying its collaboration with the international association, and I am happy to share that President IGU has mentioned that in the next IGU convention in San Francisco, Indian delegates, they need not pay any registration fee. So this is a very good news, and this is the part, and this is the concept of having collaborations, and that's what going on in the right perspective. I will fail my duty to mention many names, but to organize such a congress, it needs meticulous planning, involvement of many people at different stages. All the council members of the executive members of the FIGA, President Dr. V.M. Tiwari, Vice President Professor Rajendra Prasad ji, the Congress Director, Balakrishnan Nair, and time to time we have got very important input, suggestions from Professor Harsh Gupta, Professor Shailesh Naikji, Professor Dimdi, and I also see that many members of the local organizing committee, they have taken many nights without sleep. That's what we have got this success. And the 4th consecutive Congress, every time we have brought out an outcome volume in the 1st Congress, 2nd Congress, 3rd Congress, and the 4th Congress also, we are going to cover important aspects, whatever we have achieved, whatever we have heard, whatever we have thought, that how we can advance geoscience for the national growth, societal implications, how we'll be able to address them, what are the contemporary issues, how we'll be able to understand those processes, and what are the way forward, what are the solutions to the societal challenges. All these things will bring out in the form of outcome of the 4th Triennial Congress at INCOIS. There are many plenary speakers. They have their lifelong experiences and they have shared their thoughts and views so that we can improve upon ourselves for our own research, for our own country's societal growth. So that was the aim. And a number of congress, number of associations, particularly I mentioned about Indian Geophysical Union and AHI, they have done their annual congress into this, annual convention into this congress also. I'd like to mention few names because that is very, very important. Without them, the local organizing committee name, I have not listed everybody's name, excuse me for that, but many of them have come to the podium, so I could just note down some of the names. And that name I'd like to just say, so that such a congress where 300 delegates are there, 240 abstracts have been received, and they have been planned, organized to convene this congress. They have played a very important role. And Dr. Pattavhi, Mr. Sudhir, Mr. Mahindra, Mr. Kiran Kumar, and from the FIGA side, Dr. A.S.S. R.S. Prasad, they have really taken a great effort for which we are seeing today 4th Congress a very successful event. I must also express our gratitude to Honorary PSA, Professor Sood, A.K. Sood, who was the chief guest during the inaugural function, and Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary MoES, who was the guest of honor at the inaugural function. They could grace the occasion in spite of their very busy schedule, multifarious responsibilities in the headquarters. I'd like to place names, but I have just want to mention some of the institutes, some of the organizations, some of the exhibitors. Science and technology exhibitions is very, very important. Whatever instruments we have with us, how we can achieve the good quality data using that particular system. So many of you have visited SNT exhibitors, the exhibitors, institute, ministries, they have contributed, they have extended for the budgetary support, for the logistic support. Without that, a congress like this is not possible. I, at the end, want to thank Dr. Balakrishnan Nair and his entire team of INCOIS, the organizer of this 4th FIGA. And that's what it is a really inspirational from us also to learn from them the way they have shown their hospitality, the way they have done their work in a very meticulous way. All these things are recorded, and at the end, I wish all of you that you are going back home with a plethora of knowledge on the blue economy, on creating some sort of network with the experts so that you can advance your own research in your respective domain. With regard to different activities we have talked about during the entire Congress, I will not take much time. I wanted to say something more also, but I will pause over here, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart profusely to make it a resounding success. It is because of your collaboration, because of your cooperation, because of your support, and finishing every session within the limited time. Little bit gap is there, but because of all of your cooperation and support, this could have achieved a grand success. Thank you so much for your involvement, and continue this involvement. Make yourself associated with this Congress so that we can understand any complicated issue related to the societal matter or science questions, industrial challenge, we will be able to solve that. Because today's science is interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and earth system science can play a very, very important role. Thank you so much for having, and you are going back really feeling that it is really worth to attend the 4th Triennial Congress of FIGA. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of gratitude and appreciation. There is one more felicitation to be conducted. I request Dr. Shailesh Naik to felicitate the panel members for the Women Scientist Conclave. Dr. Devrina Mani Tiwari from University of Hyderabad.
Wadia from IIT, Dr. Divisha Vedandi from CSIR-NGRI, Dr. Joshi Catherine K, CSIR-NGRI, INCOIS,
Sir, yes.
With that, we have come to the conclusion of the 4th Triennial Congress of FIGA. Thank you all for being part of this remarkable event, and we wish everyone safe travels and continued success in your scientific endeavour. Now, kindly rise for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता।
Thank you everyone. There is